Have you ever spent hours visualizing your dream life only to feel stuck doing nothing about it? At the start of this year, I talked a bit about visualization, manifestation, vision boards, and how they actually work according to psychology. If you haven't checked that out already, you can check it up here. Everything that I talked about in these videos, I have tried out for myself over the past few years. But I also realized there are some traps that can end up making you feel like you're not actually doing anything. You visualize, you make a vision board, but then you don't take the action. And action is the key when it comes to manifestation. But there were some things that I realized. Turns out the very practice that's supposed to help you reach your goals can sometimes be the reason that you don't. So today, let's break down the hidden traps and paradoxes of visualization and manifestation, the psychology, the pitfalls, and how to make these techniques actually work for you. Hi, I'm Kuhu, part psychology nerd, part art and pop culture enthusiast, and your buddy in figuring out the art of living your best life. Here, we decode why your brain does what it does and how you can use that information to level up your goals, routines, and mindset. Because mental health isn't about just getting by. It's about creating a life that feels like you. On Kuhuverse, we talk about everything from art and pop culture to psychology, mindset, and lifestyle. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe for more such videos. Getting to the first trap, the comfort trap. Because sometimes satisfaction can lead to procrastination. If you watch the previous videos, you know that the biggest reason why visualization works is because our brain cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's just an imagination. So when you vividly imagine your goal or achieving your goal, your brain thinks you've already done it. It releases the same feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin as it would when you actually achieve the goal. But when your brain already feels rewarded, guess what happens? Motivation drops. You can feel like you've already achieved the goal, and so now you don't need to work for it. So suddenly, taking real steps becomes difficult. Basically, sometimes daydreaming about achieving success can make you less likely to achieve success. The second trap and the solution that I found for this problem is that we often end up visualizing our outcome, the goal that we want to achieve. What does it feel like to have achieved it? Instead of focusing on the process of getting there. So when you only visualize what the outcome feels like, getting that award, getting the promotion, getting accepted into your dream university, or getting that dream job, your brain ends up skipping the process part of it. You aren't mentally rehearsing the grind, the mistakes, the learning, the work it takes to get there. And when reality hits, you feel unprepared. When you shift your visualization to focus more on the process, so you imagine studying or pitching ideas, actually sitting down and getting the work done, the journey becomes just as real as the outcome. It's kind of like romanticizing your work. Instead of only romanticizing the goal that you want to achieve, we try to romanticize also the thing we'll have to do to get to it. And this could also help you understand if the goal you're trying to achieve is really something you want. Because when you sit down and think of, okay, these are the things I'm going to have to do to get there, you could get a better understanding of, do I really enjoy these tasks? Do I really want to be doing these tasks? Is this something I want to spend my time on and effort on? Or is there something else I'd rather do? If you're struggling to sit down and work, try visualizing the process, so the work that you have to do, and how that would lead to achieving your goal. This way, you're not only romanticizing and visualizing achieving the outcome, achieving the goal, but you're also visualizing the process. You're prepping your mind to take action. Third trap is overthinking your manifestation. Sometimes manifestations backfire quietly. You start obsessing over the little details. How will this happen? When will it happen? How will things unfold? And the perfect way that things will unfold. Now suddenly you're stuck in your own head. This mental spiral can create stress, indecision, and even procrastination. Basically, the exact opposite of what we need to manifest our dreams. This can often show up as spending hours curating that perfect vision board or perfecting your scripting and your manifestations and your affirmations, or daydreaming scenarios about how you will achieve the goal instead of actually taking actions to achieve the goal. Now, here's what I've learned over the years. The magic isn't about figuring out how everything will happen. What's the perfect way for things to happen? The magic is in asking yourself, what can I do right now to get a little closer to this dream? Even the tiniest actions matter. Say writing one paragraph, making one phone call, sending one message, or sketching a simple idea. It all builds momentum. So instead of trying to map out your entire journey all at once, try focusing on the micro decisions. Ask yourself, what's one concrete thing I can do right now? Those small intentional steps compound over time. And before you know it, you've moved miles ahead without overthinking anything. And here's the important part. Tools like vision boards, affirmations, manifestations, journaling, scripting, these are just guides. They're meant to inspire you, not to trap you in paralysis. The moment you stop obsessing over how things would be perfect, you start taking action, and the opportunities and ideas you need to get there start showing up. So, the real key, trust the process. Manifestation isn't about scripting perfectly, it's about combining intention with action. Another downfall of trying to make your vision board perfect or trying to make your manifestations and your visualization and scripting perfect is you end up focusing so much on the one single way you think things should pan out that you end up missing the opportunities that do show up in real life. You keep waiting for the perfect outcome while the real world opportunities slip by. Because not every goal is going to pan out exactly how you imagine it to. There are endless possibilities out there and possibilities that we cannot even imagine. While your vision board, your manifestations, your journaling helps you narrow down what you want and how you could do it. Don't let it box you in a way that you don't see the opportunities that exist. The fifth trap is the guilt trap. This is a tricky one. When manifestation doesn't work, we often end up blaming ourselves. The first thought is usually, I wasn't aligned or I must have done something wrong. And honestly, that's a dangerous narrative. You start thinking you're not doing it right, failing, or that somehow maybe you're not worthy of your dreams, which is not true. And instead of learning, experimenting, being curious, or taking action, you end up stuck in guilt and self judgment. Here's the thing I want you to hear. Your self worth is not tied to whether your dreams manifest on a certain timeline. Visualization isn't a moral test. It's a roadmap. It's a way to guide your focus, your intentions, and your actions, not a scoreboard for how good or aligned you are. Sometimes goals on your vision board manifest in a day. Some take a month, some take a week, some take a year or longer. The key is not giving up, persisting, continuously taking action that you think can help you get towards your goal. Instead of blaming yourself, try asking, what can I do differently? Think of manifestation like planting seeds. Some take time, while some sprout quicker. Let's talk about the sneakiest trap, the comparison trap that social media makes even easier to sneak into our lives. You see a friend or colleague manifest their dream job, travel to somewhere you've always wanted to, and suddenly you're measuring yourself against them. And that comparison can trigger envy, imposter feeling, and even demotivation. Instead of feeling inspired, now we're feeling down. We're thinking, why not me? What did they do that I can't? Visualization should inspire you, not make you feel small. It's a tool for your growth, and everyone is on their own timeline. You don't need to compare your timeline with someone else's. Before you visualize or journal or make your vision board, stop for a minute and think about it. Am I imagining the life I want or the life that others think is the ideal life? Am I just trying to keep up with someone else? The moment you center your energy towards yourself, your dreams, your goals, your ideas, social comparison loses its power. So here's the truth. Visualization and manifestation can work. They can help you sharpen your focus, calm you, and make your goals feel clearer and more tangible. But there's a catch. When you obsess over perfection, when you overthink, when you try to compare yourself to others, your brain can get tricked in a negative way, in a way that hinders your progress instead of helping you achieve your goals. Motivation can drop, anxiety can rise, and sometimes you start doubting yourself. the exact opposite of what these techniques are supposed to do. The key is to treat these techniques as techniques. They're tools, not magic spells. Vision boards, journaling, affirmations, scripting, these are here to guide you, to help you figure things out, help you take action, help you focus on what you want, not make you feel stuck or guilty or like an imposter. The real power isn't in dreaming, it's in taking active action. So the next time you sit down to visualize or journal, ask yourself, am I inspiring action or just daydreaming? Focus on the process, trust the journey, and let your actions do the magic. If this resonated with you, do like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post another such video. And I really want to know, have you ever experienced one of these traps or any other trap on your manifestation journey? Let's talk about it and learn from each other. And I'll see you in the next video.